Oh, this one. How you doing,
I'd like to call the order of the St. Charles City Council meeting for Monday, November 6th, 2023. Tracy, please call the roll.
Lencioni.
Here.
St.Charles.
Here.
Warble.
Here.
Besner.
Here.
Weber.
Here.
Sulkaitis.
Here.
Pope.
Here.
Bongard.
Here.
Munns.
Here.
Gem.
Thank you. Tonight's invocation will be given by Alderman Petrella.
Help us as a council to exemplify leadership that involves courage and integrity. May we forever be mindful in our positions of our responsibilities to be of service to our community. Amen.
Amen.
Alderman Besner, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Thank you, Your Honor. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I have one proclamation to read this evening, and it's the Veterans Day proclamation for the weekend. Whereas the contributions and sacrifices of the men and women who served in the armed forces have been vital in maintaining our freedoms and way of life, and whereas tens of millions of Americans have served in the armed forces of the United States during the past century, and whereas hundreds of thousands of Americans have given their lives while serving in the armed forces during the past century, and whereas our veterans are brave and selfless individuals who, when duty called, willingly put themselves in harm's way to defend the lives and liberty of others. And whereas their abiding patriotism and enduring devotion to the ideals on which the United States is founded will never fail to inspire us. And whereas our veterans understand the important task before the American servicemen and women now keeping watch. And whereas we memorialize and honor those who did not come home, including those who are still listed as prisoners of war or missing in action from any conflict. And whereas we promise to respect and support all of our veterans, especially our St. Charles veterans, and to never forget what they gave of themselves for all of us. Now, therefore, I, Laura Vitek, Mayor of the City of St. Charles, do hereby proclaim November 11, 2023 as Veterans Day in the City of St. Charles and encourage all citizens to acknowledge and honor the contributions of our veterans to the principles of democracy, individual freedom, and human rights. And so this weekend on Saturday, we will have a ceremony at the fire department, Fire Station 1, and it will be at 10:30. We'll be honoring people like Alderman Weber, who is also a veteran. And I know that there's an individual, Dwayne Stevenson, I believe, who turned 100. He's a World War II veteran on Veterans Day. So hope all of you can join us at the fire station at 10:30 on Saturday. The omnibus vote, Alderman Besner, please.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve the omnibus vote.
Second.
Moved by Besner, seconded by Lencioni. Any comments, questions? Tracy, please call the roll.
Lencioni.
Yes.
Petrella.
Yes.
Warble.
Yes.
Besner.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Sulkaitis.
Yes.
Pope.
Yes.
Bongard.
Yes.
Munns.
Yes. Thank you. We do not have any old business or new business under committee reports, government operations. We have two items. Before I turn it over to Alderman Weber, I will just make a couple comments on item A3. That is recommendation to approve the preliminary estimate of the 2023 property tax levy. This is just a preliminary estimate, so the actual levy will be approved on December 4th or discussed on December 4th. So a couple comments. The city's proposed tax levy for operating purposes is increasing by only 3%. All the additional dollars will go towards funding required police and fire pension commitments. The current cost of providing services such as police, fire, and public works has gone up and will continue to increase next year due to the effects of inflation. The city will actually receive less dollars for funding operations and other purposes, a 1.9% decrease next year, and will be relying on sales tax and other revenues to make up the difference. The 3% increase is less than the average increase in the city's property tax levy over the previous 5 years, which was an average of 3.3%. The increase will result in an increase of $2 per month or $24 a year for a home with a $300,000 estimated cash value. I know Director Hanna is here if anyone has any questions regarding that item when we get to it. So regarding government operations, I'll turn it over to you, Alderman Weber.
Thank you, Mayor. First, we have item A1. I'll make a motion to move. I'm looking for a second on that.
Second.
Seconded by Lencioni. Does anyone have any questions on this or need to discuss it all? No? Can I have a roll call vote on that, please?
Lencioni,
Yes.
Petrilla,
Yes.
Wirball,
Yes.
Besner,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Kulkaitis,
Yes.
Folks,
Yes.
Bongard,
Yes.
Munns,
Yes.
All right.
Item A3.
A1 carries. Item A3, I'll make a motion to approve the preliminary estimate of the 2023 property tax levy for the city of St. Charles in the amount of $24,465,744. Do I have a second to go ahead and move that along?
Second.
Seconded by Lencioni. Is there any questions up here? No questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Lencioni,
Yes.
Petrilla,
No.
Wirball,
No.
Besner,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Kulkaitis,
No.
Folks,
Yes.
Bongard,
Yes.
Munns,
Yes. Thank you, Alderman Weber. Under Government Services, anything further, Alderman Bongard?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Under Planning and Development, anything further, Alderman Lencioni?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Is there any public comment this evening? You may come up to the podium and state your name, please.
Good evening. Use my notes so I'm
Sure.
on task here. My name is Debbie Motter, and I'm here on behalf of the League of Women Voters from Central Kane County to invite all of you and all of the St. Charles residents to a community meeting that's going to be held on November the 15th at 7 p.m. at the Baker Community Center. The topic for this community meeting is the Tri-Cities coal problem and what we can do about it. Too many residents in St. Charles, Geneva, and Batavia do not know that their public utilities purchase most of their electricity from coal-burning power plants in southern Illinois. This special event is being held in the hopes that more Tri-City residents will become aware of this fact. The emphasis of the community meeting is on and what can we do about it, okay? So that's part of the title. We'll share our vision for a cleaner future for the Tri-Cities. A vision that is achievable, cost-effective, business-friendly, and in step with the clean energy revolution currently underway in our country. We will share with you our vision of how we can get there, working with you, our city leaders, and what residents can do going forward, including how they can positively impact decisions made by our government. Our mission is for all of us to be partners with you, our city leaders, and the community. We are committed to supporting rational, constructive dialogue, collaboration, and partnerships to achieve a cleaner energy future for St. Charles and the Tri-Cities. So please come. It's November 15th, a week from Wednesday. It's at the Collins Auditorium of the Baker Community Center here in St. Charles. We look forward to you and hope to see you there. I have brochures if anybody would like one. I think I emailed one to everyone. And thank you for your time.
Thank you, Debbie. Appreciate it. Is there any other public comment this evening? Okay. A couple items I have. It was Derek's birthday, November 4th, so we missed you before. Happy birthday. Hope you had a happy birthday. And Lisa Garhan, who's not here, our marketing PR guru, her birthday is on the 15th, so we'll be celebrating her. I already mentioned about Veterans Day and the ceremony. We'll be celebrating there or honoring there on Saturday. And then November is also Native American Heritage Month, which celebrates the rich culture and history of American Native peoples, especially in St. Charles with Potawatomi Park and the Equivest statue. So just wanted to take a moment to recognize the influence of the Native Americans on the Fox Valley area. Is there any other comment from council?
Yes, I have one. I got a couple questions for staff here. Mainly has to do with the parking lot that's adjacent behind Pollyanna and Flagship on the Fox there with everything that's going down. I just want to make sure to say, we reached out to renegotiate that deal with the owner of that lot, correct?
That's correct.
And did they have no desire to, at this point in time, to try to come back with a counteroffer, or were they just non-responsive?
At this point, they were just not interested in extending that lease. We continue to have discussions with them to keep that door open, but at this point, they wanted to determine what they wanted to do with that lot separate from it being a parking lot.
Okay, so it wasn't anything on our half. We've reached out, we've tried to negotiate, we've tried to compromise, and nothing.
Yes, we've been working with them, and I mean, certainly you're welcome to reach out to the owner to have him speak directly to the circumstances of it, but we continue to maintain the relationship with him and keep that door open if anything should ever change.
Well, I noticed in one of our weekly updates, it says something about the barriers that were going to be up, should be set for liability purposes to kind of mark off ours and theirs, but I noticed that the barriers can be moved, and at times, I believe, have been moved. Is there something we can do to secure these up so it's not a liability on our end if something were to go wrong or be in the wrong spot?
We're actively monitoring it. The impetus to do it the way that we did was there needed to be some time to rearrange the schematics of the parking lot, to restripe, to gain access, all of those items. So we wanted it first to see if we could maintain it without putting the barricades up as like the Jersey barriers,
Sure.
And see if we could actually do it the way that we had intended, marking it as private property while everything was restriped. But we are monitoring it to see if we need to go that extra length.
I just appreciate everything the city's tried to do to maintain that lot and maintain parking for residents, and to me, it's a shame of what's happening, but thank you to you guys for doing your due diligence. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Alderman Sullivan. Anyone else? Yes, Alderman Sullivan.
So I have a question for legal, for our city attorney. In the update, it says that blocking off access between the separate owners is necessary to protect the city from liability issues that may arise from illegal cross-access. So right now, there are construction horses that are really the obstacle from entering the private lot and then from the private lot into another public lot. And those are being moved on the weekends to allow certain cars to come in and certain cars to leave. So my concern is, are we really doing the responsible thing when we have a legal opinion here of allowing that to continue? If something happens, I'm a little confused. Seems conflicting what's actually happening there and what's being recommended here.
Thank you. I guess I can't comment why they're moving the barriers at different times, but with the lapse of that agreement, you are correct that there's a liability issue between the various properties, and to the extent that the city can control its property, it can put up barricades to stop that migration of traffic from the initial city lot to the corner lot. We'll call that the private lot, which then also stops the migration of the traffic to the next lot, which is ours is on. I think the goal here was to try and see if there's a way to keep that flow of traffic, if you will, but from a liability standpoint, the preferred course would be to make sure that we don't set ourselves up for having cross-access problems.
It sounds like that's exactly what we're doing, is setting ourselves up for liability incurrence right here. And I think it's irresponsible. I think nobody is going to the public lot on the corner of Illinois and Riverside, right? There's nobody going there because there's barriers up where the initial public lot is into the private lot, and those are being regulated or monitored by the private ownership. They're being moved, cars come in, they close it off. So then nobody else is going to, so it doesn't benefit us anyway because nobody's accessing the secondary lot. So in my opinion, following your legal advice to avoid liability, I think the responsible thing to do is to barricade it off as recommended in the city update, and that's it. I mean, it's already been restriped, it's done, there are cars going around in the loop. So why are we exposing ourselves to liability? That's just plain irresponsible.
I think at this point, this is the first I think staff has been made aware that was happening with the barricades. I think now that we're aware of that, we can address that as a separate issue.
But are we going to put the orange barricade straight across?
Correct.
And just be done with it? Because I don't want to be here a month from now doing the same nonsense, back and forth, back and forth. Then you got other owners going out there complaining. Let's just do it right from the get-go and be done with it. That's my opinion. Let's not incur any sort of liability.
Anyone else have a comment? Okay, any staff have any comments? Okay, then I'm just looking for a motion to adjourn.
Wait, I got one more thing. I'm sorry. I apologize. This question's for, I looked at the expenditure list, and back in June, I asked about WBK, our engineering services master's agreement that was completed in 2018. What is the status on that as far as an update?
Yes, we issued an RFP, I believe, back in August. to solicit firms to conduct engineering services for community development. We received quite a few responses. We went through those, reviewed them, and interviewed a few firms. So we will be bringing forward contracts for services at the December Planning and Development Committee meeting.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anything else? Okay, just need a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Besser, second by Wirball. Tracy, please call the roll.
Lanciani,
Yes.
Petrola,
Yes.
Wirball,
Yes.
Besner,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Kulkaitis,
Yes.
Folks,
Yes.
Bonegard,
Yes.
Monk.
Yes.